Hello everyone, my name is Rajni Jha. Welcome to Drishti IAS. So we were covering new NCERTs and we are on chapter 3rd of class 10th NCERT Polity. We are done with half the chapter, half of it is left. We'll continue with it. But before I start, could you confirm if I'm audible and visible to all of you? Is the audio video clear? Yes. Good evening, Vivek, Prabhanu, Anil, Ananya. Yes. Yes, Jayant, I am very well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're doing good as well. All right, great. So we'll start the lecture now. Yes, good evening, Ashish. I hope I'm audible and clear, audible and visible to all of you. Is the audio video clear? It is clear. All right, great. Thanks for letting me know. So we'll start with the rest of the chapter that was left. The last topic that we studied was secular, that India is a secular country, and we were talking about secularism, right? So we'll continue from there. Yes, good evening everyone. I'm so glad all of you are here. I am great. Thank you so much, Suman. So we were talking about secularism and I have already repeated that twice, but in any case, we'll start from there. We were done with communalism, forms of communalism, and okay, so India is a secular state and we already know about this. We have talked about it. What does secularism mean? That there will be no official state religion, right? That's what we studied. Okay, so we talked about the fact that India is a secular state, meaning that there is no official state religion, right? Apart from that, I also told you that there are two types of secularism. One is negative secularism, other is positive secularism. In the West, there is negative secularism, which means that there is complete separation between state and religion. So the state does not interfere with religion, it keeps equal distance from all the religions, right? Whereas in case of Indian state respects all the religions equally and it keeps a principal distance, which means, yes, it maintains its distance, but it can interfere with religious matters if it is about social reform or equality or justice. And that is the concept of principal distance, and this is called positive secularism, and we have already covered this. Okay, so in India, what are the features of Indian secularism? First, there is no official religion, right? Then there is freedom of religion. We know that we also have fundamental right which ensures freedom of religion. You can profess, practice and propagate any religion of your choosing. Next is no religious discrimination. Nobody will be discriminated on the basis of religion. And state can reform religion. The principled distance concept that we talked about, that state can bring changes in some parts of religion if it is about social reform or equality or justice. Yes. Ma'am, in democracy, no, we have the right to protest. Yes. And as far as government is concerned, government also listens to it after some time. So we have the right to protest. If you keep at it, government will have to listen to it eventually. All right, the next part of this chapter is caste and politics. I think we discussed this part as well, that there are caste inequalities in India, because if we really talk about it, you must have read it in ancient history, that society was divided on the basis of caste, right? And initially, although caste was just based on what kind of work everybody was doing, but later it became birth-based, and that's when hierarchies and all the evils related to caste that emerged, all the problems, discriminations related to caste emerged once it became birth-based, right? So there are hereditary occupations because of caste system, that if somebody is born in a Brahmin family, that person is supposed to read and do all the worship sort of stuff, right? So we have maintained hereditary occupations in the past because of caste. Even today, if you really look at in the village areas or the remote areas, you will see that there are caste-based discrimination still happening. There's still a very much a norm in India. Still, you will see that just like in ancient times when lower caste people or Dalit, to be precise, were given the work of cleaning sewers or septic tanks, which was inhumane completely. It was discrimination, complete discrimination. And even today it continues because of these caste prejudices. Although all of this is banned, all of this is abolished in our constitution, everybody has the fundamental right. And yet we see that the remnants of these caste practices are still going on in our country, which is very shameful, to be honest. So it involves hereditary occupations, ritual sanctions that you belong to this particular caste, you cannot do this, or you cannot do this worship, or specific ritual, you cannot follow the specific rituals. Then endogamy. Endogamy is a very peculiar feature of caste. Endogamy means marriage within one's caste. Even today, you will see that families, they usually proclaim, oh, we are very modern, we are very progressive, but we want to get married into our own caste, right? It is especially very rigid when it comes to Brahmin families. So endogamy, which is marriage within caste, is again, this is a practice of caste system. Then there are restrictions on social interaction. There used to be a lot of restrictions on social interaction. Now it is not as much common as it was earlier, but in village areas it is still prevalent. That is the bad part. Okay. Yes, it is not a dignified work. Anyway, we have the right to live a dignified life, and that is given to every human being. Then why are they treated like that? Whatever your reason be, whatever caste system you have made in the past, I think it's time to get away and do away with all of this. It should not continue in this century at least. Next is changes in modern India. Now, this is important, the thing that I was talking about. Now see, in modern India, there are a lot of changes because of several reasons like urbanization, industrialization, education, literacy, and we will discuss them one by one. Do you think in the modern society it is possible that because of these things, the caste rigidity has weakened, or the caste system or practices do not exist in urban areas especially? Do you think that is true? Yes. If you say it is true, then you have to tell me how. You have to explain this. So how urbanization, because of urbanization, the caste practices have reduced, or how because of industrialization that has reduced, right? This chapter specifically is all about Indian society. It is so much of it is about Indian society and social issues, right? And you have those in your mains examination. Even if sociology is not your optional, you'll have to study Indian society and social issues. So this chapter is going to help you tremendously in those areas as well. Ma'am, I have talked to faculty, they are not able to tell. Okay, there is no bilingual class on YouTube as of now. I don't think, I'm not aware of it if it is there, but it is there in English and Hindi. So that means on the English channel, which is this channel, it will completely be in English. On the Hindi channel, which is Drishti IAS channel, that's it. The name is Drishti IAS. On that channel, you'll find the lectures in Hindi, all the lectures in Hindi. PDFs, yes. I will get them done today itself, don't worry about it. Okay, Ankur has said people are working together and gaining financial freedom leading to social mobility. Okay, very good. And? Yes, and? Due to all these reasons, people of all caste and religions work together. Yes, so see, in cities, what happens is, because in cities everybody works together, the working place is the same, more or less. Because of that, people started living together, and working individuals from different castes, different cities, different religion, different ethnicity, everything from different walks of life, they all live together in urban areas. So caste-based restrictions and rigidities have decreased quite a lot in urban areas especially. Industrialization has also helped with this. How? Because in factory, again, people from different walks of life, the diversity itself, it works in industries and factories. They work, all of them work together, and it is mainly based on skills. In factories, you can work if you have skills. It is not based on caste. They will not hire you because you belong to a certain caste, even if you don't know the work. You'll have to know the work because it is skill based. So again, people from all different walks of life, they come and work together, and it has also reduced the rigidity that was there because of caste. So there was a specific occupation given to a specific caste. That rigidity has decreased because of industrialization in factories, because here the work is dependent on skill, not caste. Similarly, like one of the students said, education and literacy. Once people got educated, because of this, the idea of equality, liberty, and justice, individual rights, all these people came to know about all these things. And because once somebody knows about their rights, they can enforce them, right? They can talk about them. If somebody doesn't know the rights of themselves itself, and if you don't know what you can have, you will not even ask for it, right? It's something like that. So now that people are educated, They know about their rights, they know about liberty, they know about individual freedom, they know about life, right to life, right to live with dignity. Because of all of this, people are educated now, and because of all of this, they can ask for what they want, they can ask for what they deserve, and these rigidities, the caste-based rigidities, have decreased as well. Please answer the questions when I asked you, and in between the lecture, please hold on to your questions because it's a little distracting. I'll answer to your questions once we are done with a significant portion of what I'm trying to explain, okay? All right. Then there is another problem here. There is another solution here, which was occupational mobility. As I told you, because in urban areas, your occupation, the job that you do, is dependent on your skills. It is easy to move in hierarchies, right? It is easy to move up the social ladder. You don't have to stay stuck in one simple place just because you belong to one caste. So because occupational mobility is possible in urban areas, this also has weakened the caste rigidities. Similarly, there is decline of landlord dominance. Traditional caste hierarchy has weakened. So landlord dominances in village areas, there were landlords and people from, especially people from lower caste, because they did not have a lot of opportunities and lot of economic resources, they would get trapped in debt traps. Now, all of this does not happen in cities or urban areas because it is largely dependent on services or manufacturing industries. So landlordship has also, because it has declined in urban areas, that has also led to the weakening of caste rigidities. In rural areas also, this whole landlordship and landlord dominance has declined, because of which caste rigidity has decreased. Urbanization is not, yes, that is true, Madhu, you're right. And we talk about that when we talk about urbanization. There are problems with urbanization because a lot of people moved to cities and cities did not have the infrastructure to absorb them. So that led to a lot of problems in urban areas. So urbanization has led to problems, that is true. Yes, but that is not given in this chapter, so we are not discussing it. But you're right, it has caused, well, this causes people to alienate from their jobs. This causes slum problems, this causes hygiene problem, this causes healthcare issues. There are not enough infrastructure, so there are not enough homes, there are not enough medical facilities available. So there are a lot of problems. At the same time, there is psychological stress also in urban areas because everybody is very mechanical, right, and very individualistic. In village areas, what used to happen was everybody would sit together and they will share. There was more solidarity there. People would be more interested in each other. Here, people are only interested in their work or what they can get from you. It is quite transactional and people are individualistic, which leads to psychological stress and sadness, right, in urban areas. So yes, urbanization has led to its problems, but the caste rigidities have weakened because of it, and that is a fact, okay? Now the question is, does this whole caste practice still continue in India? Yes, it continues in India, as we have discussed that most marriages still happen within the same caste. There is caste endogamy, which is a very specific feature of caste practice, caste system. It is still continuing, right? Untouchability still persists. You will see that in so many households, I've seen that when there is house help that's coming, the glasses or cups for her is kept aside, right? If a particular woman belongs to a specific caste, the house help belongs to a specific caste, they will not let her enter kitchen or they will not let her cook something for them. So these practices, although they sound like they sound made up, they still happen in cities. I've seen people do that. I've heard stories of such things. So still happen. Historical inequalities are still there in society. Now I'm not saying that only caste exists and people have not progressed. From every caste people have progressed, from every caste people have prospered, but caste rigidities, inequalities, they still continue in so many parts of India. Yes, Jajmani system, okay, that I don't think that is relevant in today's time, but yes, at that time Jajmani system was one of the most peculiar features of caste system. Endogamy, no problem. Endogamy means, see, the word gamy, G-A-M-Y, it is related to marriage, right? Endo means within, endo means within. So here the marriage is happening within what? Caste. So endogamy is a practice in caste where marriage happens within the same caste. So Brahmins marrying only Brahmins, or Kshatriyas marrying only Kshatriyas, something like that. That is called endogamy, and in caste this is a very important feature. At least it used to happen earlier quite a lot. Even today it is very prevalent. Okay. Next is so these things, as we have discussed, they have weakened caste hierarchies, right? But constitution, and in fact constitution also prohibits caste discrimination. It introduced policies for social justice. We know all of this, and yet caste practices continue. That's what the chapter is talking about. If we talk about social and religious diversity in India, Hindus are 79.8%, Muslims are 14.2%, Christians 2.3%, Sikhs 1.7%, Buddhists 0.7%, Jains 0.4%, other religion 0.7%, and there are some where religion is not stated, that population is 0.2%. So this is just trying to show you that in India there is diversity. So diverse religions, people from diverse religions are staying in India together. And it is important that everybody should be treated with equal respect for us to live a peaceful life together, right? Next is major social groups. If we talk about, there is scheduled caste, which is 16.6% according to 2011 census, and they were formerly called untouchables. Now we know for a fact that untouchability has been banned because there is fundamental right against against untouchability, that is for abolition of touchability. Then scheduled tribes, 8.6% according to 2011 census, and these were tribal people or Adivasis. Other backward classes, OBCs, according to National Sample Survey 2004 and 5, around 41% population of the population are this. So together SC, ST and OBC, they constitute 2/3 of India's population. That means majority of them are from this specific social group, these three social group, right? And yet we find discrimination. There is large chunk of our society which faces discrimination, which still faces harassment in some of these social groups, although they are the large chunk. So that is something we need to work on. That's what this chapter is trying to put your focus on. There are caste inequalities, right? Upper caste generally have the highest economic status. Now, of course, right now, the condition in India is such that people from every caste there are poor people and there are rich people from every caste. And yet, if we look at data, most of the people which are from highest economic status, they are from upper caste. OBCs occupy intermediate position. Dalits and Adivasis remain most disadvantaged, and lower castes are overrepresented among the poor. So what does this line mean? This line means that if we talk about rich and poor people, in poor people, most of them are lower caste people. In rich, most of them are upper caste people. Upper caste people, right? Okay. Do you have any questions up until now from what we have studied? Now, caste in politics. This we have discussed yesterday also, but let's just quickly go through it. So, how does caste show in politics? In politics, it shows as candidate selection. So, political parties consider caste composition while selecting candidates. So that they can get support from different caste people, right? So they usually see what is the caste composition. Then governments also try to include members of different castes, again for the same reason that if different caste people are there in one political party, they will be getting support from all those different castes, right? Next, electoral appeals. Political parties often appeal to caste sentiment, that I belong to this caste and we have been discriminated, or we have not been represented enough and I will bring that forward, something like that. So caste appeals are also part of political agendas. Political parties often appeal to caste sentiments. Some parties are identified with particular caste groups. Next, political mobilization. What does that mean? See, universal adult franchise. What does that mean? Universal adult franchise is every adult, that is 18 years and above, has the right to vote in India. So this has encouraged political participation, greater awareness among historically disadvantaged castes. So because everybody has right to vote and all their votes are equally valuing, right? India has political equality. That means the vote of a person, even the poorest person, the value of vote of a poorest person is equal to value of vote of the richest person. And this same logic goes to the people from different castes as well, right? So because of this, people know that they have the power now. Because of this, they know they have power even though they have been historically disadvantaged. So because of this, they are participating more. So this has increased political participation. Universal adult franchise has increased political participation. Okay. Caste shapes political strategy through vote bank mobilization, where parties strategically align with specific caste group to secure electoral majorities. Exactly. Absolutely right, Jayant. Next, what are the positive effects of caste politics? The first is, as we have discussed, because now we have universal adult franchise and everybody knows that the value of their vote is equal. So this would make people from every caste realize that they have power. Second, because of this, we know that every individual will now be represented. So even the caste groups which were historically disadvantaged or discriminated against, they also have representation now in politics, right? First is candidate selection. I think we have already discussed that. So yeah, this we have already discussed. This is repeated. So we were talking about how the positives we have already discussed. This is politics in caste. So how politics transforms caste. Politics transforms caste because, as I've told you, they have got representation now. And if you want to understand a particular community, you need their representation. You need somebody from that group to represent themselves so that the problems, the issues, or whatever problems they're basically facing, those problems can come forward and those problems can be sorted. Because somebody who does not belong to that group cannot come up with what kind of problems those people would be facing. Or if we talk about women, so what kind of problems women face, only a woman can tell you, right? Men can maybe imagine to some extent, but they won't be able to understand it. So the same goes like this. So here, because politics, so yes, politics is caste ridden a bit, I will agree to that, but at the same time, what has happened is caste groups expand by incorporating neighboring castes. Different caste groups form political alliance. Now we see that caste groups have started forming political alliance so that they can be represented as well. And new political identities have emerged, such as forward caste and backward caste. So earlier there were four types of caste. Now there are forward caste and backward caste. This is because of caste in politics, right? Weekly PIB will be uploaded today. Yes, weekly PIB will be uploaded today, don't worry. Okay, next, we have already discussed these things. I think in the last class also we were discussing what was the positive, what was the negative. Like some of you said that vote bank is a negative, right? It diverts the focus on the actual issues like poverty is there, unemployment is there. Because of the idea that a specific caste is mobilized, because of politicization of caste, the major issues of our country still go unnoticed, right? That is the problem. It shifts the attention away from development. It increases social tension because now the idea should have been that now it does not matter which caste you belong to, everybody should be able to live peacefully together. But because of politicization of caste, the social tension between different castes has also increased, right? Then this leads to conflict and violence. Like we have already studied communalism or politics based solely on caste identity. All of this is very unhealthy for democracy. No, the previous slide was nothing. We have already discussed that. It talked about the positive and negative. The positives are that people from different castes have now representation, right? So they can put forward their problems and their problems can be listened to, they can be solved. If there was no one from that community in the politics, how would they present, what problems do they face, right? And the positive would be, this was the positive, the negative would be vote politics. And the negative would be when we talk about caste and politics, if we make caste the main agenda of politics, getting votes through vote banks or freebies, then the main issues like unemployment, like development based issues, or the fact that there is skewed sex ratio, there are so many problems, poverty is there. So all these problems, they just go on a side, right? The main problem is going unnoticed, and actually the whole of attention is going on only the caste. That, oh, this belongs to our caste, so we should vote for him. I belong to your caste, so you should vote for me. But what about unemployment? What about poverty? What about skewed sex ratio? What about education? The whole education system is not so good in India. Everybody keeps saying it, but Is anybody doing anything about it? Right? So when you include caste in politics and you start politicizing caste, it takes away the attention from all the major issues which are there, which should have been worked on. That's what it means. The prejudices, of course, caste system itself, the whole idea is based on prejudice, right? And that is harmful for a democracy. In democracy, everybody should be able to live peacefully. Everybody should be able to participate in society. And if there is prejudice, if there is discrimination, this whole purpose simply fails. So that is a problem. Same slides have been repeated. Okay, negative effects we have already seen. It shifts, this was the last slide. Shift attention away from development. That idea should have been development. The government should focus on development of India and individual both. But the attention is shifted towards caste, or it diverts focus from poverty and corruption. Right? Nobody is focusing on poverty, corruption, unemployment, and all the other issues, education system, health system. There are so many issues that we have. Nobody is focusing on them. Everybody is focusing on caste. It increases social tension, because now caste is specifically focused. People are more aware of their caste, and once they become more aware of their caste and differences and they start being prejudiced about it, then it will create social tensions, conflicts and violence, such as communalism. We have already studied communalism in the previous lecture. If the people have, I will get some water after the class. If the people have jobs, then today people were not gathered. Okay, see, the thing is, there are so many problems in India, nobody is denying that. And we are not a perfect democracy, but as long as we keep participating in it, we might become one, at least one day. Okay, so is there any question from this chapter? I hope this chapter is clear to all of you. This was a very basic chapter about Indian society, right? So if you have any questions about the chapter, you can ask. And now I'm going to ask you multiple choice questions. So the prelims based practice questions, we'll discuss them. First is with reference to, and listen to it very, very carefully. You have to answer it and you should answer it correctly. With reference to sexual division of labor in India, consider the following statements. It refers to a system in which women perform or organize most household work, while men undertake most income generating activities outside the home. Second, women's domestic work is generally unpaid and receives limited social recognition. Third, the sexual division of labor exists only in rural areas. You have to tell me which of these is correct. 1, 2, 3. Which of them are correct? Your options are A, 1 only, B, 1 and 2 only, C, 2 and 3 only, or D, 1, 2 and 3. Yes, tell me what is the answer. Polity Simplified will be there on Wednesday. So you'll get the new lecture on Polity Simplified on Wednesday. Okay, there's a very good question that Abdul has asked. Why caste system is still, why caste system still exists in India despite making laws against it? And we will talk about it, remind about this again. Let me look at the answers first. So everybody has answered 1 and 2, that is B. Yes, everybody has answered B. Let me see. B is 1 and 2. First says it refers to a system in which women perform or organize most household work, while men undertake most income generating activities outside home. Yes, that is right. In sexual division of labor is we have divided the work based on sex, men or women, right? So yes, that is true. This is what it means. Next, women's domestic work is generally unpaid and receives limited social recognition. This is also right. We have studied this. The sexual division of labor exists only in rural areas. Is that right? No, it is not right. First of all, in any question, if you get extreme words like only, right? Always be very careful about it, because in 99.9% cases, this is going to be wrong, because there are always exceptions. But here, we don't even have to wait for exceptions. We can see that it does not exist only in rural areas. In urban areas also, we have seen that women are restricted to household chores and men go outside in public spheres to work, right? So this is wrong. First and second is correct. Now Abdul asked a very good question, which says that even though we have laws against caste system in India, like abolition of untouchability, and nobody will be discriminated, so there are different fundamental rights which basically were supposed to fight the evils of caste system. But caste system still persists. What is the reason behind it? So there is something called lag, social lag, cultural lag. There is something called cultural lag. It's a theory of Ogburn, and we will understand from this, okay? So cultural lag is when technology develops very fast, but people are not able to cope with it. For example, we got, let's say, we got smartphones very quickly, but people were not very equipped with it. For example, even now that people are reading books on iPads or tablets, and I'll tell you, I am not very comfortable in electronic media. I want to still use pen and paper. I want to have physical book, right? I want to have physical copy. Even though this has happened for so long, I'm not very comfortable with this idea. This is called cultural lag. When in technology, in the material technology, changes happen, but people have not adapted to it. That's one thing, right? Something like this also happened in case of caste system. Now that is not cultural lag, by the way. In caste system, we made laws, but for any country, any society to actually implement those laws, they require the intention of people also. You want to bring the changes in culture, and bringing change in culture is not that easy. People by nature are very rigid. If they have practiced something for a very long time, they're not going to change it overnight. For example, you yourself try to do it. You try to change one habit of yours, you'll realize it's extremely difficult. It's not that easy. You can try, and you're still young, so that means you haven't practiced it for a very long time. So imagine people, and this is especially happening in rural areas in the previous generation. So imagine people who have practiced something for 50 years, 60 years. You really think that's going to change overnight? No, this will not change. Even in their kids, because kids learn most of things from socialization, from what they have seen their parents do, from what they have seen their society do. So if they're living in a society where this is very normalized, you really think they are going to question it? We don't question things. We don't think for ourselves. We normally go ahead with the crowd. That is the problem. So even though we have laws, if you want to bring change in society, the culture has to change. Those practices have to change, and they take time. That does not happen overnight. That requires questioning. That requires tussle. That's how they change. Out of 10 videos in playlist, only 8 are available. Okay, I'll talk to them once. Please write that down in the comment section also after the session, so that even if I forget, you can, I will go through the comments and then I'll get to this part. People, point number 2 mentions the word generally. Does that make difference? Here. Yeah, this of course makes difference, because what does it mean? Generally means it happens normally, but it's not like this only happens. So if I removed generally and I wrote only, women's domestic work is only unpaid and is always, not only here, always will be the word, always unpaid and receives limited social recognition. In such extreme words, then you have to pay attention, right? Generally means this happens, but it will not happen in 100% of the cases. Whenever there is 100% of the case, whether it is by always or only, then it becomes a problem, because nothing happens 100% of the time. It's very rare that something happens 100% of the time. So whenever in questions you are given words like generally, that is usually right. Generally, usually, that does not mean 100% of the time. That means it is right, because in society everything happens. Everything that you can think of happens. It's just that it does not happen 100% of the times. I mean, implementing faults. Beta, I did not understand your question. Madhu, could you write it again? Yes, PDF you will find in the Telegram group. So after this class, you'll find a Telegram channel link in the description box. Click that, join the Telegram. You'll find the PDFs there. Yes, exactly. Increasing awareness, education, that is the solution. So you can't change the previous generation. It's going to take a lot of effort, and still they can't change. And if you feel like why they can't change, this is wrong or right or whatever, I'm telling you, this is a trick. You try to change one thing about yourself, something that you have practiced. So for example, if you're angry when you're hungry. When you're hungry, you get irritated. You try to control that. Even if you're irritated, don't shout at anyone. Even if you're irritated, don't make faces, don't frown. you'll realize if you have been doing this for a very long time, it's going to be extremely difficult to change. So you really think that you're going to change the previous generation? You can't. Okay, so what we can do is we can change ourselves, we can change our future generation, we can teach them, and then the changes will come. Yes. Okay, but I have already answered. You'll get the PDF. Okay, great. So next question, let's quickly move on to the next question. Next question is, which of the following statements regarding communalism is correct? A, communalism assumes that all members of a religious community necessarily share identical political and social interests. B, communalism promotes secular values by strengthening interfaith cooperation. Third, communalism recognizes the diversity within religious communities. Or fourth, which is the D option, communalism discourages the political mobilization of religious groups. Very easy question. What would be the answer? What would be the answer? Yes. Quickly. Thank you so much, Anil. Yes. Beta, this is an English channel. I don't know why I have to say this over and over in every class. This is an English channel. So, of course, the classes are going to be in English here. If you want the classes in Hindi, it will be there on the Hindi channel, which is Drishti IAS channel. Okay. Yes, I will be continuing with PIB Weekly. The timings of PIB Weekly is 8:30. So today it will be uploaded by 8:30. Don't worry about it. I will continue that. Okay. Yes, most of you, why are people saying C and D? Most of you have said A, but some are saying C and D. Okay. Let's see what is C. Communalism recognizes the diversity within religious community. What does that mean? It shows that communalism also gives importance to every religion. It respects diversity. Does it really do that? No, of course it doesn't. Communalism means a particular community, a particular religious identity is the superior and everybody else is inferior. They don't even exist. If they do, there will be conflict because their interests are completely opposite. So this is the opposite of what communalism stands for. Next, communalism discourages the political mobilization of religious group. Again, no, because they feel they are superior, a particular community feels that they are superior, they will always do the political mobilization of religious groups. They will not be against it. This means, what does it mean? Using their community or caste or religion in mobilization in politics, right? So, of course, they will do that. This will not discourage, this will encourage. This is also wrong. B is communalism promotes secular values by strengthening interfaith cooperation. The very fact that we have talked about communalism and it says that one religion, one community, one faith is superior. So how can it promote secular values? Secular values means every religion, every faith is equal, right? So of course this is also wrong. First, communalism assumes that all members of a religious community necessarily share identical political and social interests, meaning that we are superior, A, and second, we all have similar interest. We have similar interest and the other religious group or the other community that has interests which are opposite to ours. That is why it will always be a conflict. We cannot live together. That's what communalism is. That's what we studied, right? So first is right. So whenever you have a question and you're not able to understand what exactly it means, then maybe you can move on to elimination. So even if I did not quite understand what is option A about, I could have easily eliminated B, C and D and I could have gotten the answer A. Yes, 8:30 PM beta, not AM, PM. Yes, Jayant, I think I missed your question. Thank you so much, Vivek. All right. Okay, so I hope everything we have studied is clear to all of you. And there are some repeated questions which are A, why the class is not in Hindi or bilingual? That is because this channel is in English. B, you will get the PDFs in Telegram group. If there are some PDFs missing, I'll make sure that they are uploaded today or at least by tomorrow. And third and very important thing, after the class is over, I want you to write the framework of mains answer writing practice question that I give you, because otherwise there's no point bringing them up, right? And if you keep practicing with me, by the time we are done with NCERTs, your answer writing will also get strong. So here is your mains practice question. It says, social diversity in India has shaped democratic politics in both constructive and divisive ways. Discuss this statement in context of gender, religion and caste. And this is a 15 marker question. This is a 250 words question. Forget marks. 250 words, right? So this is going to be a little trickier than all the previous questions that I've given you, but I really want you to attempt this. In tomorrow's session at 6 p.m. again, I will tell you how this should have been written. I'll give you the framework. First, I'll go through your answers. Then I'll give you the framework, right? So I expect all of you to answer this. No beta, my classes are on this channel. This is in English. All right, so that's it for today's session. I really hope you enjoyed the lecture. For those of you who are new, we have our classes every day at 6 p.m. from Monday to Friday, and we are covering new NCERTs. So I hope to see you at 6 p.m. sharp every day. That's it for today's class. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take care.